On July 24, 2014, women's rights activists gathered on the street in front of the Supreme Court to rally to gain supporters for the Equal Rights Amendment. In 1982, the amendment was ratified by 35 states, leaving it 3 states short of the 38-state requirement to put it into the Constitution. The purpose of this rally was to get at least 3 more states to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. Identity plays a major role in supporters and non-supporters for this amendment. While I was at the rally, I noticed that there were primarily women participants. However, there were some men as well. Since this pertains to a women's right amendment, it makes sense that women represented the majority of the participants. As discussed in class, identity plays a major role in the issues that individuals find important. Congresswomen Carolyn Maloney and Jackie Spear led this rally. Their identities as women and as Democrats can help explain why they are passionate about this amendment.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Supreme Court Justices. Good morning. There are 2 statues with seated figures behind me. To my right is a female figure. She's entitled The Contemplation of Justice. On the left is a male figure, and he is entitled The Guardian of Authority of Law. I think that some of the Supreme Court justices might be taking these statues too literally. The authority of law may be depicted by a male figure, but the authority of law does not and should not rest solely with men. Women are contemplating the justice system, and we're not happy with it. The Supreme Court has made it clear that women are not necessarily considered equal in the Constitution. Today, we are surrounded by women dressed like Rosie the Riveter. With good reason. In World War II, they embodied what women contributed to strengthen our country. Over 70 years ago, they were called to action. In fact, the quote was, "The more women that work, the sooner we win." Well, we believe that today. 6 million women answered the call then, literally providing the weaponry and the ammunition to end the war. Rosie was paid the same wage as the man that she replaced on the job when he went to war. And that's all we're asking for today. Equal pay for equal work. Rosie the Riveter was the symbol of patriotic women who wanted to serve and strengthen their country. Now it's time for our country to serve and strengthen women who want nothing more but equal and fair protection under the law. In 1923, on the 75th anniversary of the Seneca Falls Convention, Alice Paul first announced a new constitutional amendment. It was then entitled the Lucretia Mott Amendment, as she called it. It is the Equal Rights Amendment, and it's been introduced every session of Congress from 1923 to 1972. 35 states have ratified the ERA before the deadline, leaving us just 3 states short. We are still fighting to get women into the Constitution 91 years after the ERA was first introduced and 166 years after the Seneca Falls Convention. To the women and men here today, especially those who are the next generation of champions, know this: equality is only 24 words away.
Dr. Faye Williams, the chair of the National Congress of Black Women, explains how her identity as an African American female influences why she is so passionate about this amendment. While rain and limited space on my camera left me unable to record formal videos of the interviews with participants, I did speak to a few women at the rally. Many of them said that Their identity as women shaped why they are passionate about this amendment. However, a few also said that this amendment addresses human rights rather than just women's rights.